Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Sorry I've been a little bit hiatus from our content creation on YouTube and everything. I've been very busy with my job and everything like that as well. But we are back in today. I want to still thank you guys for the continuous support on the channel and everything like that as well. Almost 800 subs, which is just insane. And I know as I say it, I say I appreciate it like during every single video that I'm always there. And I never thought that this journey would just be so awesome during this time and with everything, and that all the videos are still gaining viewage and everything like that as well, and then we're getting one step closer to a monetization partnership with YouTube and everything like that, and excited for the journey to continue out and everything like that as well. And I know I'm a little bit late to the video and everything as always from the other content creators and everything like that as well, but finally going to be releasing the video today on our brand new event, the Dandelion Heim event, our call to arms for the Saganian Empire as well. Our brand new thick pasta boats that brought us brand new ships to look at, an interesting mode, equipment, and them thicky boy skins that are not YouTube friendly. So we'll save that for Twitch when we go to Twitch and everything like that as well. So I'll be giving my personal review about our new ship girls that we obtained and everything like that as well. Going kind of over like how I think they're going to be played out, how well they're going to be in the new meta and everything like that as well. My personal thoughts and opinions on them in general. Some equipment recommendations, and my personal opinion on like what to farm, if the event's worth farming on the map or not, or if some of the event maps are worth farming at all, and in general. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with we're going to just go down the road personally, but we'll go ahead and start with my favorite, actually, of the entire event, which is actually Aquila. I actually been seeing a lot of things about her, and I'm super excited for testing and everything like that as well. Personally, she is the highlight of the event for me in general, and my personal favorite. So we have construction time of 4 hours and 35 minutes. Super rare aircraft. I love her design. The design is really awesome with like the waves and everything like that in the planes, and her skin is even cooler as well. So we got pretty moderate health for a carrier as well. Max level, she got 6,217. Not a lot is like compared to like Shinano or anything like that as well, or Saratoga and everything like that, but she's got pretty decent aviation stat as well of 398, good AA stat of 363, hit stat of 101, luck of 40. But this is the other thing that's really interesting as well, that all of her efficiencies are actually really good as well. So we got fighters at 120, dive bombers or fighters as well for her second slot at 120, and torpedo bombers at 130. So this is where Aquila gets actually very, very interesting, is her skill and the barrage as well. So her first skill, which is I'm terrible at pronouncing French, so bear with me, guys, is the Frigate de Aquila. When the ship launches an airstrike, 75% chance at max level to launch an aerial barrage. Damage is increased, the pattern improves with skill. I haven't really actually seen numbers on her barrage yet and everything like that as well, but with rumors and everything that I've been hearing, it's actually pretty solid damage and everything like that as well. A very interesting barrage as well, but this is where I honestly think that she shines right here, is her second skill, and what makes her really unique compared to all of the other CVs that we have attained or anything like that from an event and everything like that as well, is her Reign of Starlight skill, which is if the ship has a fighter equipped in her second gear slot, whenever the ship launches an airstrike, 1. Heal the ship in the vanguard and the ship in the main fleet who has the lowest percentage of remaining HP. Both ships are healed by 8% of their maximum HP. Also, gives each of those two ships an HP barrier. The barrier can block up to 6% of that ship's maximum HP and last up for 5 seconds. Also, she has a second part of this as well, where if she has a dive bomber equipped in her second gear slot, she can start the battle with 1 airstrike preload, decreases the load time for all the ship's airstrikes by 10%, and increases all damage the ship deals by an additional 8%. So, she has a tactile play style that fits whatever you want to feel. If you're lacking heals and shields, she can provide you with healing and shielding and everything like that as well. And the heal is actually a pretty solid number and everything, and the shield's actually pretty good. It's kind of like Illustrious, a little I wouldn't say the shield is kind of not as strong as Illustrious's, but it's still pretty good and everything like that as well. And she can also DPS as well, kind of switch gears and get that preloaded airstrike. Also decrease the load time of all her airstrikes as well by 10%, and she gets that increased damage deal by 8% as well, which is even really good for damage output. I've been testing both myself, and I like actually both ways that she can fit. So it fits any playstyle that you have. If you're, as I said, if you're lacking really heals, you have a heal playstyle. If you're lacking that extra damage that you need, you can get that extra damage and everything like that as well. We have another really good one as well, which is her disarming but deadly. Decreases all damage the ship receives by 12% at max level for every 3 enemy aircraft shot down by the ship's aircraft. Increases your whole fleet's AA by 5% max level. This buff will be set up to 3 times. So she's got a nice little self decrease of damage, and she also has that nice buff for AA for your whole fleet as well. That can be set up to 3 times. So that's also really good as well. But Aquila, in my personal opinion, if not the star of this event, highly up there, next to obviously Veneto as well, that everyone else is also looking at and everything like that as well. But Aquila, if you pulled her during the event, I would definitely recommend leveling her up. She's a very solid overall carrier that we received. Very good for early new players as well. If you're tuning in and this was your first event and you pulled her and you don't really have an aircraft carrier started yet, I would highly recommend starting her and using her and everything like that as well. As I said, you have a multi-versatile CV that can heal, and she can also do damage as well. And her heal is, even though it's like a single target heal, it's still a very strong heal to that ship that's dying, and they also get to shield as well. And it also helps your backline out too. If one of them is dying, it'll heal them and also program them a shield as well. So definitely a good ship from the event. Moving on, we're going to go to the CL, which is another personal favorite of mine. Really love her art. I love the whole like dark mystic like angel like halo blue archive thing going on with her and everything like that. And that is Duca degli Abruzzi, or her other really long name that I don't really care about saying, but she is the light cruiser of the faction. 0.5% build rate if you're trying to build her from the build pool and everything like that as well, which we were actually lucky and got her, which was actually really cool and everything like that. But moving on, so we got pretty solid health for a CL, 4360, pretty good firepower at 159, pretty good AA at 371, good torp at 320, we got 96 evasion, 181 reload, 169 hit stat, 35 speed, 85 luck, 97 ASW as well. So we also got 125% efficiency on her CL guns, 160% efficiency on her torps, and 110 efficiency on her anti-air. Also another ship of the event that has 3 skills as well, which is actually cool. I think this is one of the first events that all the SRs actually had 3 skills, which is pretty crazy. We normally don't see the SRs of events having like 3 skills unless like they're were targeted for a pretty certain reason. So going with their first skill, the Halo of Flames. At the start of battle, increases the ship's AA, evasion, and accuracy by 15% for 60 seconds. When a ship fires her torpedoes, 70% chance to fire a special barrage. Damage is based on skill level, obviously. So we got a nice little AA buff, nice little evasion buff, and an accuracy buff for 60 seconds, which is pretty solid. Torp barrage, which is actually really solid as well. So her first skill is actually pretty good, and I actually think that she's I haven't a lot of testing with her so far for the light carrier, but I definitely think that she'll be up there. I think all the ships, as far as the SRs, will be pretty high up there. I'm not for tier list, but I would say if you got any of the SRs from the event, I would highly recommend leveling up, especially if it's like one of your first ones that are actually good. Like if you don't have another CL to level up, I would highly recommend leveling Abruzzi up because the first skill is pretty solid. You also got Solemn Zealatory, which reduces the speed of the torpedoes fired by the ship by 1, increases torp crit rate by 40%, and torp crit rate damage by 40%. It decreases the loading time of her first torpedo salvo by 50%. So she's got like that slow torpedo thing going on, which slow torpedoes is actually pretty solid in the Azur Lane and everything like that as well for scaling and stuff like that as well. And she's got that crit rate damage up and that torp damage up. So if you like pair her with somebody else that it can like increase torp damage and everything like that as well. You got some pretty solid numbers for torp damage and everything coming out there as well. Her last and final skill is just a scratch, which I actually think is a pretty nice pretty niche skill, but pretty solid as well. Reduces the AP damage the ship takes by 20% at max level, and the torp damage taken by frontmost ship in your vanguard by 8%. Once per battle, when the ship falls under 30% HP as a result of taking damage, she creates a shield and restores 3% max of HP every 3 seconds for the next 10 seconds. The shield blocks up to 5 torpedoes and lasts up to 10 seconds. So she's got a really cool, interesting mechanic of torp damage being decreased by your frontmost vanguard. She's got that shield and that heal for 3% of the max HP for every 3 seconds, up to 10 seconds. So she'll be healing about 3 times out of the 10 seconds for 3% of her max alpha, which is 4360, which that's pretty solid. Nice little self heal and everything like that as well. And she gets that shield that can block 5 torps, everything like that as well. So another very good ship looking at the event and everything like that as well. And here's some people, our next ship. A lot of people's pretty proud that we didn't get debated this game and debated this time during this event. And we finally actually got Vittorio Veneto. And this is pretty much everyone's main ship that they really wanted, and a lot of people's upper +1 ship that they wanted as well. So Veneto is the BB of the Guardian Empire. We got super rare, rarity, construction time of 515, 8,491 health, 429 firepower, 243 AA, 159 reload, 80 luck, and everything like that as well. Heavy armor. Very solid numbers actually for a BB. Pretty solid health at 8,491, and we also got pretty solid firepower as well, being at 429. Her main gun efficiency is going to be at 130. Her GD/CL guns is going to be at 200, and her anti-air being at 100. Another ship again with the event as an SR with 3 skills as well. We got the internal flagship skill, which is her barrage, which is the barrage that everyone's been talking about lately, and it's actually a very, very nice barrage. And so we got 75% chance to fire a special barrage damage based on level. If this barrage fails to activate, instead it targets one random enemy and increases its damage taken by 10%. Kind of like a Orspite Divine Marksman target as well. But where she just targets one enemy and it's going to deal additional 10% if the barrage fails and everything like that. If her barrage does hit, it still does very solid damage as well. But we also got what we also wanted as well, which is Eternal Light of Zagerda. At the start of the battle, increases firepower, torp, and evasion by 15% for all Guardian ships in your vanguard. It increases firepower, aviation, and accuracy by 12% for all Guardian ships in your main fleet. For each additional Guardian ship in the same fleet, up to 2 at most, decrease the loading time of your ship's first salvo by 40%. So we have a pretty good buff for, the more pasta girls you got in your fleet, the more she becomes a lot more broken. So we can run full pasta fleet now and everything like that as well with this. So this gave us a flagship banner that we needed for the pasta girls to actually come alive and everything like that as well. So pairing her with Vittorio, her sister, it's going to be actually a very solid comp and everything like that as well. Her last and final skill, we got the Banner of Splendor. At the start of the battle, if your fleet contains at least one or more Sardinia ship, or if the ship has an AP main gun equipped, increases the ship's firepower by 12%. Additionally, for the first 3 battles of a sortie, this ship is in takes 20% less damage from torpedoes. So we got a, damage buff if you're AP as well. We got the first 3 battles of the sortie, decreasing damage taken from torpedoes. The torpedo thing, not really worried about, considering that a lot of chapters don't really use torpedoes unless you're in some other things. But Once again, Vittorio Veneto, another very insanely good battleship that we needed as well to set our Hungarian Empire faction alive and everything like that, to bring the postus with what we needed. And pretty much what we really mainly needed at here is what we were looking for and everything like that as well. Going on to the elites, we'll kind of just speed run by these because honestly all of them are pretty mediocre. So we got Libigo, who is a destroyer with like 1,783 health. Not pretty okay actually, firepower 115 and pretty mediocre torp at 299. Efficiency of her main gun by 140, her torp by 130, which is pretty low, and her anti-air by 110. She's got the southwesterly wind when the ship is in your fleet. Other than this one, take damage, 30% chance to fire barrage damage is based on skill level. So kind of okay. Got a special barrage. You got a little damage buffy thingy going on, but don't really care about that. Stealthy Sailor increases the ship's speed by 5 and also increases her AA and evasion by 15. And if there are any other Scandinavian ships in the same fleet, so she got to go fast, she shoot, she go pow pow. But compared to the other destroyers at the elite, category, she's kind of still outclassed and everything like that. But she's cute. She's very cute. She's got the cool little wave going on. She's got a cute skin and everything like that. So definitely up to you if you want to use her. Probably say there's some other choices that you can also go with, but up to you. You can also pair her with Mastrel if you want to as well, which is another destroyer. At 1821 health, 109 firepower, 160 AA, 293 torp and everything like that as well. Her scaling is 140 on her DD, 130 on torps, and 110 on anti-air guns. She's also got the same another wind thing going on, except a little bit different. So hers is when any ship is in your fleet, other than this one, takes damage, 30% chance to increase evasion by 15% for 5 seconds for Canadian ships, and deploy a smokescreen that increases evasion rate by 40% for 5 seconds for ships inside it. Smokescreen has a 15-second cooldown. It's not stacked, so she's got like a little smokescreen, kind of like Leander and everything like that as well, but not as strong and everything like that as well. And she's also got the Ace Student, which increases the ship's speed by 5 and also increases her firepower and torque by 15% if there is another Sigurdian ship in the same fleet. So you can kind of pair her with her other friendly elite destroyers, and they can be pretty okay and everything like that as well. But gearing is what makes the ships in this game now, not the ship that makes it as well. So it's kind of gear meta now, but ships are ships. If they're cute, you use it, and that's what you want. So going on to our last destroyer, we got Nicoloso Darico. Pretty cute. I like the star heart thing going on. She reminds me of like a character from Lucky Star. Literally. Got another destroyer and everything like that as well, with 1850 health, 115 firepower, 171 AA, 279 torp, everything like that as well, with 150% DD gun, 120 torp, and a really bad AA of 85%. She's got the exploration skills, so they kind of all got pretty much the same kind of skill going on here. So first 3 battles of the sword increases like their AA and aviation and then speed, and then when in the fleet the ship isn't defeats an enemy, increases just firepower, torp, and reload by 5%, because stacked up to 3 times. So they all has like some type of like, all the elite destroyers have some type of like little buff thing going on with them, where they either increase like their speed or their evasion or their damage for a short period of time and everything like that as well. But other than that, pretty solid, okay skill and everything like that as well, but lacking the actual stats to pretty much be good at any point like that. I mean, her torp efficiency is pretty low. Her anti-air is pretty low as well, but she has a DD, and anti-airs aren't really known for, destroyers aren't really known for their anti-air, but some of them are better than the others. Moving on to her Nash skill, we got Navigator's 30, increases damage taken by enemy seals by 3.5% while the ship is afloat, but also increases the ship's damage taken by 1%. So I mean, that's kind of like a weird trade-off, because it increases the damage taken by the enemy CLs up to almost 8% when the ship is afloat, but it increases the ship's damage taken by 1%. So it's kind of just like she's taking down all that enemy from the CLs, but it also increases the ship's damage taken by 1%. So that's kind of like a weird skill. I don't know what they were kind of going with that. A little weird, but she's still cute. Want to use her, use her. on that. Really recommend her. I would probably stick to the SRs if you got them and everything like that. Moving on is to my favorite sub girl. I really like the art for this, the whole globe looking thing going on and all that. We got Torricelli, Submarine, 499 Torp, 1518 health. One skill, we got Turn the Tide, which increases this boat's damage dealt to all enemy DDs by 15% when the boat resurfaces. Decrease our damage taken by 30% and fires a special barrage, which, looking into this, she's not very great as far as a sub, but she is cute, and she has a cool skin, and she dummy thick. She got them thicky thighs and everything like that as well. So, but she's hella cute and everything like that as well, but not very great. She can't be constructed. She is the event main point accumulation reward, so you'll just get her through a point accumulation. All the other ones can either be constructed, or you can also get Abruzzi from map drop or event shop as well. You got all your beautiful skins, which we won't go over because YouTube does not like pasta chip skins because they're too thicky for them as well. So is the event worth farming? For new players, obviously the pre-maps of A through B do have times 3 point reward every day as well through the accumulation. You could also obtain Abruzzi from the early map like that as well, from B3 as a new player. So you can also get it from B3, D3, and SP as well. In my opinion, I don't really think it's worth farming. There's not really that great of gear that is from this event that I would say that's really worth farming. I would probably just do it for the point accumulation to clear the stuff that you need out of the shop and everything like that, and go from there and get like your prints for your PR equipment, like your PR ships, your prints, your general prints, the coordinate chips if you really need that, and like the DR prints, and then go back to either going to Operation Siren or just farming the chapter and making more progress and everything like that as well, and not really wasting your time on the event and everything like that as well. But if you did get any of the SR ships, I would highly recommend leveling them up. All 3 of them are very good as well, in my general opinion, everything like that as well. But that is where I am going to pretty much end my opinion on here. I just wanted to make a short little video, even though it's 21 minutes, but I want to make a video on the event about my personal thoughts and opinions and everything like that as well. Hopefully the event went out and everything great for you guys. I want to know in the comment down section below, who is your favorite ship of the event? Are you guys enjoying the event? What do you like about it? I also thought the labyrinth thing going on with the event and some of the maps where like a certain part of the map gets cut off at certain points and you have to move to unlock a part of the map was kind of stupid as well. So let me know what you think about that as well and everything, and comment down below what video you'd like to see next. I know a lot of you guys are still waiting for the gear guy video and everything like that. I will be making it. I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to break it down into sections, like gear for destroyers, gear for CLs, gear for, you know, light cruisers, heavy cruisers, aviation, light aviation, like a bunch of other stuff, and probably split it down and go from there. But of course we'll be making, I'm sorry that I'm late on the video for the event and everything like that as well, but I just wanted to get it out and share my opinions and everything about it, and how I actually enjoyed the event and everything. So hopefully you guys also are enjoying the event and everything as well. And I will see all you guys again next week. Like, comment, subscribe, and take care, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.